will be talking about the cat hopping and the stanky leg method, and those are just two ways of saying how to cheat the game. There are way more informational videos out there from better players. I'm just gonna be explaining what has stuck with me, what has consistently worked for me. This is kind of like an insight of like how I have been seeing the game and how I've been like playing these patterns and how it just works out in the end for me. For those who need context, I've been playing the game for about 4 years now, and I am expert too. I have S24s and D23 clear. This video is restricted to singles because I don't have ball knowledge in doubles. I am a singles main. It is tailored more to those who are like breaking into 20s and above. If you're anywhere lower than that, I don't believe this video is for you, and I think you should still continue learning and building onto your foundations of the game, because that's where you really start to see these patterns where like learning to cheat is beneficial. You're essentially trying to conserve your energy when you're cheating, and I know based on my past, like with observations, I've noticed some people would struggle to do it because they are still using too much of their legs hitting the panel. Just imagine the pad, and you really want to just like move your feet as little as possible when you're trying to hit the arrows. So it kind of looks like you're a standing man emoji, you're just like not moving. And it's gonna feel really awkward at first, and I know, especially because I'm on the shorter end, I'm like 5'1". Because I'm shorter, like I get really stiff. So I would also suggest to like slightly have your knees bent, because I remember I was being told, this was back in my marching band days, I was being told just the way I stood. So like I stood up so straight up that like it was not good, because over time I was just told like I'm cutting circulation off, I am probably going to pass out on the field. So I would always have your knees slightly bent just to get the blood flowing. Yeah. Well, I put out a very default cheating pattern here. I think this is one of the first things you would see when you start learning it. And I know this can be overwhelming for people. This was actually overwhelming to me when I first started cheating. Something I like to tell myself is that on this red, yellow, red pattern, pretend the yellow does not exist. Just like, boom, take it away. Now it's just two reds. And you basically just slide your foot forward. This is my left hand, so red, red. I know it's a little awkward, because this isn't a bracket, so you're not trying to hit it at the same time. One thing I really drilled myself is like, I would call it a delayed bracket when we're incorporating this like yellow panel back. Because left, red, center, right, I like to treat these two notes as if they're like together. A way that I found it very digestible for me is to, when I hit these patterns, like left to right, right to left, vice versa, like toe ball heel. It's something that I just like spent a lot of time just like doing it on the pads, even when I'm not playing the chart. I would toe the red, like I'll toe this left red right here, and then by the time I hit this yellow, I'm on my heel, and then with my right foot I just hit this third one. Like, it sounds so simple, but like in the moment, especially for those who are just starting to learn, it's very hard to think. But like if you just constantly just like drill that down to your head, like it'll kind of become like sleeper mode in no time. You're just kind of like rolling, doing like you're rolling your foot. Yeah. Something that still really gets me is side twist. Especially if they're really fast, and you can get like, I get very overwhelmed very easily with this kind of pattern. So this is where the cat hopping really comes into play, because if I were to do this legit, which I probably can now because this video is old enough, it takes so much of your energy. This chart in particular, Imperium S22, it's a very hard 22. It is so tiring, especially if you do this completely legit. I remember like here when I was trying to do the side twist, I basically, yeah, I just hopped that shit. And Pump It Up has a very comical judgment timing. You can literally get away with cheesing it and just like playing it like slop. People like to rush on that portion, but in that particular moment, that is a part where you slow down to hit the cat hop. The judgment for the game kind of favors towards the later end. If there's like a crazy side twist pattern, you just like basically you just face towards that side and just hop that shit. If it's doing a bunch of like back twists or front twists, you just literally just treat it as a bracket, just start hopping on that shit. Same with front, like literally if you do it slow enough, you will hit it. Though I cannot guarantee that you will get the grade that you want. However, at this point, you're kind of just, you want to pass the chart. So work on passing the chart first before refining your grade. So that's kind of like my tip for it. Again, like, I know a lot of people rush, but you have to keep telling yourself you need to slow down. Sometimes I like watching other people play, and like if they want my insight, I'll be more than happy to give you insight, and I like to tell people when they're rushing because that usually eats their health bar like crazy. What I talked about prior is just like cat hopping 101, but this is the stanky leg. Now we're in 102, okay? Okay, so here's a very old video of me hitting that shit.
Stanky leg.
Okay, I'm gonna slow this video down. So you keep one foot wherever the stairs is going. If the stair was going left to right, I would have just switched where at. I would just literally just do the reverse of what I was doing here. But basically under this context, I'm treating the left foot as if it's kind of like a bracket here. My right foot, I'm like fucking stanky legging that shit, bro. Under like very fast stairs. So yeah, plant one foot and kind of treat it as a bracket, and the other one just go wiggly wobbly mode. Basically the stanky leg. That's kind of my tip for that. Like if you were to do this completely legit, that is, especially when you're just trying to pass, no, you're going to gas out. That's kind of how I felt when I was trying to play 21s legit when I couldn't. When I was just breaking into 21s. When you're first starting to do it, don't like expect a good breakdown. It's gonna be very messy. The skill that you have to learn to refine if you want to get a good grade out of cat hopping and doing the stanky leg and whatnot, and that takes time. Just be patient with yourself. And for those of you who are going like, you guys look stupid when you're cheating. I play all my shit legit. Shut your bitch ass up. Like, when you start breaking into that 24-25 range in singles, it is incredibly hard to like play the entire thing legit. Yes, there are very few people who can play legit, but it is incredibly difficult. Like, you have to work your stamina up. I have been working my own stamina up. Like, I can play a couple of 22s quite legit actually, but 23, 24, 25, the charts get so dense, it's just very difficult and not gas out. I would say this was really getting to me when I was first breaking into the 23 range, but I think it's very useful to be studying your charts. Kind of look for, are there any sections of the chart where I can just like cat hop or do the stanky leg? Because it is trying to, for me, trying to do a 23 legit is hard. It's like very tiring. So like I just scan through the video and just look for places where I can just like cheese it. It's a way of like conserving energy. I think that's all I have to say for now. There are charts out there that does a better job of introducing those patterns than others for sure. Though I think for the most part, you will not start seeing this kind of stuff until you break into your 20s. And I think by the time you're reaching like into the higher 22s and onwards, like that's where like cheating will really come in handy. I mean, of course you can still like not cheat at all and like learn how to play very hard stuff too. It's just, this is just kind of like a life hack type of deal. Yeah, that's kind of what I have to say for that kind of stuff. Again, there are better, like more informational videos out there, though this is just my explanation, my rendition of it. When I do talk to myself, it helps me sometimes. So we do a little bit of schizomaxing here. If this video helps one person, I would be very happy to hear that. I'm tired as fuck, bro. I hope in the very least this was at least like somewhat informational to like at least one person. That's about it. Bye!